Yeah. Hi. It's Monday, and it's hard to say that. Happy Super Bowl day +1. We're talking about tragic cases of life imitating art. You know, as a musician, as a mortician, as an artiste, it's something I feel like that it's parallel, and I'm glad that you're here, and we're going to dive right in. Carrie Fisher, you know who Carrie Fisher is, right? Of course you do. Star Wars. Carrie Fisher's predicted fate. Carrie, she was known for her role as Princess Leia in Star Wars. Yes. She filmed scenes in The Last Jedi where her character falls into a coma, eerily mirroring her real life medical emergency that led to her death in 2016. Of course, I believe there was alcoholism involved, and no one's throwing stones except people and comments on videos, which is hilarious. And I'm glad that you're here because I am a musician and mortician. I spent 13 years in the funeral profession. My songs have been inspired by my works, and they're streaming. And I'm number 12 at radio. I just got the report. I was talking about it. I'm really excited about that, and I'm glad that you're here. Let me know in the comments below, are you a Star Wars fan or are you a Star Trek fan? I've done a lot of videos on both, and I actually misspoke. If you are throwing stones, I had done it right in a previous series talking about like unique ways to be buried. People can be buried in space. Since 2006, 150 people have been buried, but because of the cost, being shot out into a rocket into suborbital space, you know, not many people have done it. But now I'm getting confused. Anyway, the director of Star Trek versus the creator of Star Trek, I misspoke and said one or the other. Now I don't remember. But anyway, one was right, one was wrong. I took the wrong one down. Kind of like whenever I said, but you know, who's keeping track? Everybody. Whenever I said that they cryogenically froze Walt Disney's head. I just thought it for the longest time. And then it was Funeral Babe over on TikTok, which, by the way, you can follow me, Nathan Morris Music. It's popping over there. They're like, Nathan, hey, buddy. She's my friend. Can't really give her a real name. But she said, that's not right. I did a very long thesis on him, and this is what happened. So I was like, oops. I recanted. Anyway, Carrie Fisher, she went to a coma in 2016, died of real life, but in the movie, she did the same thing. Very interesting. Are you a Star Wars fan? Star Trek fan? Whoosh. Can you do that? I remember in elementary school, I was like, okay, we'll stop. Tragic cases of life imitating art, number dos. That's 2. Agatha Christie's mysterious disappearance. The renowned mystery author vanished in 1926 in a real-life event that mirrored her fictional stories, only to be found 11 days later with an alleged case of amnesia, having checked into a hotel under her husband's lover's name. She must have had to have amnesia. Because if she's checking in using an alias, her husband's lover is her name, she's not right. And when I was talking about the previous comments, it's interesting because I went to the grave of Judy Garland, and I just posted about how it was really beautiful that they started a register book, and someone said, you know, Judy Garland was a broken soul and broken and had so many problems and all that. And yeah. He who without sin cast the first stone. We all are broken. I'm broken. Mental health awareness, mental health challenges. I think it's a beautiful thing to talk about all of our struggles because that's what makes us human. And the reason that I showed Judy Garland's grave and what I wrote in the comments was the fact that it's not in death that we just throw dirt and sling dirt at those people. And it's not that we're trying to sanctify people in death. I think it's something that it's like the glass is half full. I mean, Judy Garland was a part of a movie called The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is a movie that I watched all the time when I would stay at home from school when I was sick, for instance. And I loved her voice. Her voice is something that I thought was absolutely beautiful, how she could sing and how on set, when they were rolling, that was her take. It wasn't like you could sit in there and in post-production and throw auto-tune on it. Like, that's her voice. It's magnificent. And I love singing, maybe a small part because of Judy Garland and those Scary Monkeys that I watched. And I can hear her voice. So it evokes nostalgia for me. I'm not going to sit there and talk about her struggles with mental health because I would hope that in my death that you all remember me for the good I do and not for my mental health struggles. And I don't fault people for calling that out. I think it's teach their own. I meet you where you are, but anything, I don't know. I did a podcast, releases tomorrow. I want you to listen to it. You'll Die Trying, subscribe to it. You can subscribe via in the description of this live, and If you haven't already, I'm sure you will find a lot of really good nuggets. It's talking about the impossible dream, and it all kind of coincides. Nonetheless, we're not talking about that. Let me know in the comments below your favorite movie growing up as a child. By the way, comments aren't below whenever we're live. They're beside, right? And aren't you amazed that I'm able to respond to you? It's pretty cool. I love this stuff. All right, Mary Shelley's prophetic tragedy. This is Tragic Cases of Life Imitating Art. So Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein, Mary, wrote about a character's distress over a loved one's drowning in, it's Mathilda? Or is it Matilda? But Matilda is spelled differently than, anyway, which predated her own husband's drowning, reflecting a disturbing life art parallel. Drowning is a fear for me, I've realized. I'm a great swimmer, thank God. My mom took me to swim lessons as a kid, and I have an appreciation for and a respect for. I'm that guy that's like, I respect the water. I respect this because, yes, I've seen the aftermath of drownings. I'm not going to go swim next to a dam. I'm not going to go and do this. I'm not going to go do that. I wonder, these creative people that are writing these stories, I wonder if Mary Shelley, in writing that to predate her husband's actual drowning and death, I wonder if she took ownership. Meaning, I wonder if she was like, that's my fault. I did that. That was me. I willed it. I spoke it into the universe. Because, speaking of, I'm going to pause there. This is a squirrel moment. Zip it, Joe. This is a squirrel moment. Our brains think up and create realities that we have to see through and that they happen. So if you're negative up here, everything around you will end up being negative. So what I mean by that, and I'm over here talking about Mary Shelley offing her husband by saying he drowned. No. If you're negative in your brain, negative outcomes will happen in real life, because your brain will make sure that it happens. So subconsciously even. It's like subconscious sabotage. So be positive. I can't wait for you to hear the podcast tomorrow. It's all about this kind of thing. And if you think it will happen. It's real. It's you manifest it. It's a real thing. And no, Mary Shelley didn't kill her husband, but I wonder if she took ownership. I wonder if she just carried that weight in that bucket of water for the rest of her days. It's my fault, my fault, my fault. I hope my bouncing around, you're able to follow that. I'm in rare form tonight, you all. I'm hot off the Super Bowl. I didn't give a damn. I'm so excited. Do you see the new digs here? This is my late grandfather's, which we talk about in the podcast tomorrow, but I'll talk to you tonight about it. This is old as dirt. This was in my late grandfather's office. Upstairs, I had this old maroon carpet. And anyway, this had all kinds of books, Revolutionary War, Civil War, World War II, Vietnam, World War I. He is a history buff. And I believe, too, I probably got it from him. You don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. I think it's important to know our history. But not only that, you're going to see bourbon, of course, Kentucky bourbon. You see some awards, the kids. I mean, things that are important to me. You just got some nice little swag. The studio is complete. It's complete. And we're starting the rehearsals this week for the show, playing New York City, playing Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. And we got shows in Utah, and we got shows booking left and right. I'm really excited about that. Be sure to visit nathanmarsmusic.com/tour and stay up to date on that. And by the way, until supplies last, I'm telling you all here on the live, every piece of merch that you buy, I will personally be sending out a limited CD. That's a compact disc. So if you buy any t-shirt or hoodie, I'll be sending that out separate while supplies last. So let me know if you are. Let me know in the live chat if you've purchased something today, starting today. That's Monday. This is 2/12 shirt, hoodie, holy shirts and pants. Okay. H.G. Wells and the Atom Bomb. Wells' 1914 novel, The World Set Free, predicted atomic bombs decades before their real-world creation and use, showcasing his unsettling foresight into destructive technology. I think that was one of those H.G. Wells. I mean, I believe that writings give ideas, right? I think they birth ideas, and there's nothing that's to say that he didn't help kind of inspire. Have you seen Oppenheimer, by the way? Let me know. I haven't seen it yet, but I want to. That's so stupid. Is it Coton's? I always Cotton, the police dog who starred in a movie, Canine, mirroring his character's on-screen shooting, was tragically shot in real life while on duty, unlike his character, who survived. That's sad. I had a pet cremation service for 7-8 years. We sold it in 20, I don't remember, right before COVID. Served up to 3,000 families at the peak of their pet families, and we had the privilege of serving all of our fallen canines. And so we would have processions just for their police dogs. And this dog we did 1, 2, 3, we had 3. And it was so moving, but having a police dog in a movie and then die on duty, just like, anyway, it just gives me all the feels. Let me know in the comments, does your city, county, community have a canine unit? Some are so small that they don't have the funds to do that. Paul Walker's tragic irony. I love Paul Walker. Famous for his roles in Fast and the Furious franchise, Walker's life ended in a high-speed car crash, a grim reflection of the movie's central theme. There's the video that surfaced of it just catching fire. I mean, that was just such a tragic thing. I don't recall exactly how it happened. Losing control and running into whatever, but it was really sad. That was like the first for us, for me, as far as the actors that lost their lives. You know, you're like, oh damn. You know? Who's an actor or actress that's really gotten you? Or someone that's created some art of sorts that their death has really, you felt it in your home, you know? Eva Cassidy's Field of Gold. Cassidy's rendition of Fields of Gold gained posthumous fame after her death from melanoma, with the song's lyrics about being remembered after death taking on a new, poignant meaning. Is that Sting? Is that her song originally? Is that even, am I just making these up in my head? I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. My brain, I'm like warping thinking of all these songs now. I think it's interesting to write songs and then things happen. They take on new meanings. But it's also interesting how they're interpreted too. Because like this one, obviously it might be very black and white, but some of my songs, for instance, people are like, oh, that was written about this. And I'm like, well, it could have been, but it wasn't. But it could have been. But I could see where it looks like it was, but it wasn't. But it could have been. I think it's cool how we take on things have meaning to us in a specific way that they don't necessarily to someone else. And that's really cool because that's what art is about. And it's really neat that Eva Cassidy has written a song and the song is taking on a new life like that. And anyway, what's your favorite song ever? You can say it mine, that's fine. What's your favorite song outside of a Nathan Morris song? Which, by the way, you can stream all those like right now. Bill Turnbull's cancer diagnosis while participating in a charity episode of the Great British Bake Off for Stand Up to Cancer. Turnbull was diagnosed with terminal prostate cancer, highlighting a cruel twist of fate. Those Bake Off shows, they never end well. That wasn't funny because you don't joke with cancer, but I just don't like those Bake Off shows. I really don't. Especially Hell's Kitchen. That's not a Bake Off show. It's like, yes, chef, you are a poor excuse for a cook. No, a chef. Not a cook, a chef. What's that show? The Bear? The Bear? Do you like that show? Where the guy dies, it's a Hulu, on Hulu, leaves it to his brother. It's this like, you know, they serve hot dogs and brats, and he's like a world-renowned chef, but he's fallen on troubled times. Anyway, have you seen that show? Who am I? We're on number 9, by the way, of tragic cases of life imitating art. Just so you know, J.K. Rowling, personal loss. The death of Rowling's mother from multiple sclerosis deeply influenced the portrayal of Harry Potter's loss, adding a layer of authenticity and depth to the character's experience with grief. My brother John told me this story, and I thought it was a very beautiful thing. So my mom would stand in line with my brother outside Books A Million, bookstores before, Audible and Amazon Audible. And they would have people dressed up as characters, and they would wait for the new books to come out. John grew up with Harry Potter, so he was talking about how Harry, the end of the series was a heavy grieving time period, which I thought was a beautiful thing to think about, because people who were in John's age group, you all did grow up with Harry Potter. So I wonder if you felt, if you're in that age group, the same as John does. Nonetheless, it's interesting because how we're able to channel those feelings, because grief makes us either bitter or better. Grief also allows us this opportunity to have compassion for, being slow to anger, have patience. It's this a beautiful ability to connect. And obviously through the Potter series, obviously through Harry Potter's death that he experienced through the loss of his parents, it was based on the author's loss of her mother. She channeled that grief to create these stories, to create these characters, to create these plots that have resonated, have been translated into hundreds of languages, have sold billions of books, have continued to entertain and inspire a generation, and now the next. It's interesting. I always talk about it. There's a beautiful parallel with music and funerals. You can't have a beautiful funeral without a beautiful song. You can't have a beautiful song without experiencing tragedy and loss, and this is a perfect example of that. Let me know in the comments below if you've read the series. What's your favorite book of the series? It's not a comment, it's the chat. I don't know why I keep saying that. It's not a comment, it's a chat. I don't know why I keep saying that. I said it's a comment, it's a chat. I don't know why I keep saying that. The sinking of the Titanic. That's number 10. I'm not excited about the sinking of the Titanic. Morgan Robertson's novella Futility predicted the Titanic disaster with uncanny accuracy 14 years before it happened, from the name and fate of the ship to the specifics of the iceberg collision, leading to speculation about the prophetic nature of art. That I did not know about, but I do know that my nephew, Sully, he is obsessed with the Titanic, like literally obsessed. He watches the movie. He knows so much history about it. It's actually really interesting to see like a child know so much. But that is interesting. I did not know Futility had the prediction of the Titanic sinking and collision with the iceberg and the name of the ship. I do know there's a lot of interesting facts about as far as the burial is concerned. So the wreckage, after they found the first and second class passengers, were embalmed, by the way. The first class passengers were placed in a coffin casket. The second class passengers, they were they were wrapped in a cloth of sorts. They were embalmed as well. The third class passengers, they were the below deck, the poor people. They were buried at sea, and oftentimes they were buried 30 at a time, at a day. And the first and second class passengers, when they finally were taken back to shore, they were placed on an ice rink. That is true. The ice rink where they would have hockey or skate, they weren't doing that. They were literally put on ice. Interesting, huh? And families were to come to claim the dead. They would then send them via train to their place of rest. Now, those that were not claimed were buried in mass graves. The more you know. I don't want to be buried at sea. Have you ever seen it? It's pretty interesting. There's tons of videos on YouTube about it, which that's where we are right now. So don't leave me to go watch those because you're I almost said a weirdo. I'm weird too. Don't be mad. It's fine. Mom phone keeps going off, and I don't want to be distracted, but I'm distracted. I can't help it. I'm really happy that the studio's done. This has been one of those things. It's like when you have like chaos in space. That's why my friend who's an interior designer is so big on spaces, because the space will make or break something. The space evokes inspiration, or the space evokes like heaviness. That's why spaces in the funeral service are so critical. And I am proud that this space no longer has any element of chaos whatsoever to it. There's there's cords, but the cords are cord management. I mean, you got to plug into computers and cameras and monitors and speakers and microphones. I mean, there's cords for cords. I love what it is. I have here, you have this like casual setup, and then over there, which I haven't done anything really at the podcast desk for a while, and I don't know why. But I'm glad that I'm able to be all cozy here on this live, and I'm glad that you join me on them. But it's all come together. It's really cool. I will have to give a tour. I will. I wonder if you can see. Let me move it. What you see over there, obviously, is a hole in the ceiling. Don't judge. I gotta cut the tile for the projector mount. But over there, you'll see all of the art and awards and things that are important to me on the wall over there. And the counter, we're gonna have a seating area put over there. So when I say it's done, it is done. It's just not. I gotta do a few more things. Shush up. Don't get mad at me. That's my schedule on the wall, so don't look at that. And you like the bear? That's bear, like bear. Huh. And then the wall that is across from the projector is the screen. It's pretty cool, huh? And then I'll keep going. Hold on. How was that? Was that good? It's huge. The space is huge. I don't know if it's you're able to see just how big it is, but there is, you see like the sound panels to help with the sound. You got sound panels all over the wall. I'll give you a better tour than that, than just panning, because I want to show you what everything is and means. But I've got probably a 1,200, 1,300 square foot studio, all sound treated. Lights, everything is strategically placed. The pictures of the kids, which you didn't see. I've got the wireless in-ear rack and monitor system, and the I've got tons of stuff happening. I'm rehearsing for the next month, building the show, the live show. I'd love for you to come to the show April 18th at Somewhere Nowhere. It's an ass space and studio. It has a rooftop. It's going to be really cool, like a rooftop bar, but also overlooks the city. Be performing for a bunch of industry people and you as well. That's April 18th. It's free. It's a free event. 21 and over, and then we'll be announcing shows, and it's really cool. All the things that are really starting to happen and pop off because of the song and single doing so well. And oh yes, I would love for you to tweet to X to Insta your people wherever you listen to music on radio and say, we want to hear last time. Buy some merch, because every merch order I will be sending out a limited edition. I'll be sending out, where is it? Where? I don't have it. Oh no. Buy something in the merch store right now and I will send it. I'll be sending it out. I'll be sending out personally until supplies in. I'm not saying, I'm not selling this too well. It's fine. Whatever you buy, I will be, for the limited time, like this. Like, look at this. The OG, the original. There's only a few of those left. Look. This is the Say Something EP. It says songs called Ocean of Love. You can't get this on any streaming platform. Hard Nights. I just watched Circles. All About the Chance. This is the original. Look at that kid. Look at him. Wow. Get some merch right now. Shirt or hoodie. Holy shirts and hoodies. I will be sending out this. I'll be sending out the original A Gentleman's Closure. I'll just send out a bundle while supplies last. Free. For free. Yeah, I really will. But again, if you rewatch this live afterwards and you buy something, I just want to say thank you, because hold on. If you buy something after rewatching and you're rewatching this and it's not live, and you don't get something outside of the shirt and the hoodie, it's because of this. They're gone. So there's not many of these left. We had thousands of these made, and this was originally done in, I don't know. Here, look. I'm going to open this right now. I'll open this. I'll have to pick that up in a minute. I'm going to open this right now, and I'm going to send this to somebody. So if you buy a hoodie or a shirt, tell me, and I'm going to send this one to you, and I'll sign it. When was this done? 2004. Before 05, obviously. Duh. It was done in 2004. Yeah. I'm going to sign it. Hang on. I'll be right back. Let me go get a pen. Hang on. I'll get a pen. All right. If you buy something in the merch store right now, a shirt or a hoodie, I'm going to send this one. I'm going to put number 1 on it. Number 1 hoodie, friend. All right. I'm going to look back. So whoever bought the first hoodie of Christmas, see that? There you go. I'm going to look back in the chat. Buy a hoodie, buy a shirt, NathanMorrisMusic.com. Get you some swag. Buy it via the link also. But I'm going to look back. Whoever bought the first hoodie of Christmas, I'm going to send this. But also, I'm going to send a personalized, limited merch until supplies end. But yeah, whoever did get that, I appreciate the support. I really do, because times are tough, and you could be spending your time with anybody else or doing something else, but you're here with me. You also could be spending your money on anything else because times are tough. I totally get it. Jokes aside. And for you to support this, the merch, the brand new merch, which the merch is badass. I'm really excited about it. But the podcast, You'll Die Trying, but also bonus noise for $4.99 a month. You listen to first looks of the book, which, by the way, it's this. That's this. You can't read in here. If someone broke into my studio, which I have security cameras everywhere, and you stole that, you would just know an awful lot. But that's what the bonus noise podcast is about. Or on TikTok, Nathan Morris Music. $5.99 a month. When you subscribe, you are able to get first looks, first listens, and access to when we go and to, have our meet and greets and all of that. In cities near you, you will have first access to those meet and greets. But that, my friend, is going out to somebody. I'll look in the chat. Thanks for the mods, Sandy and Manuel and Daniel helping write. But let me know in the chat that you got some merch. Let me know in the chat what you think about that. I'll have to find that. That's clear cellophane. This week, working on selling my childhood home, selling my grandparents' house. We got a lot of selling to do, guys. We got a lot of selling to do. I appreciate you supporting this. It means so very much. I know that you've gotten a mug. Some of you have gotten some other stuff. But any hoodie and shirt, holy shirts and pants and hoodies, I'm going to send out this stuff. I know I keep beating a dead horse. Thanks for supporting the single. Tell somebody about the single. Tell somebody about last time. Tweet your station, write them on Insta. Thanks for following me on all this stuff. I'm going to go and, eat a bowl of cereal. Thanks for subscribing here on YouTube. And you love far more than you could know. Listen to the podcast tomorrow because it all resonates. We were supposed to be talking about tragic fates of art imitating life. We did, but we talked more about how be kind to people and how art inspires, and it's important to know that you do leave a mark. And I hope that people realize the goodness and who has not sinned cast the first stone. No, the joke was, by the way, and I'll end it. It's like, who has not sinned cast the first stone? And somebody gets hit in the head, and it's Mary. And if you're of the Christian faith, she was without sin, and she was, anyway. I think it's funny. Okay, I'm going to go eat cereal. You're loved. You're appreciated. Thanks for buying the merch. I'm going to send these out. I really am. I'm personally going to send them out myself. Bye.